Hi, I'm Rich Benatti and welcome to another episode of Northeast Packard Classic Cars. In our last episode, we briefly touched on seat rebuilding for if you're going to do some upholstery work on your car. You want to make sure that all your seat springs are in good shape. Packards and Cadillacs, each individual spring was covered in a little, call it a sock. Okay, and basically the coil spring went inside the sock, and there are 30 of them on the bottom part of the seat, which actually, when they're all socked and connected, they actually give the seat some more body. It eliminates squeaks, which wasn't probably used on a Ford or Chevy. And it's a pretty simple process, and if you have a couple of friends to help you to sort of assembly line of things, it's not too hard to do. The first thing we did, as we mentioned last time, was we stripped the whole seat down, make sure we got all the rotted pieces of burlap out, and we cleaned all the mouse I guess nests that were in there, because they commonly go in there. Then the seats are cleaned off, make sure that none of the springs are broken or so rusty that they can't support their own weight. Because ultimately, if you want a good job, it's going to require the seat springs to be in good shape. The next step is to come up with a pattern. And we want to make this sock. Okay, so basically we have brand new burlap over here. And you guys cut these into pieces that are going to be used for the first set. So if you have some help, you cut these squares up, use a really good scissor. A little tip about these scissors, fabric scissors should never be used on anything but fabric. Even paper will dull them, so never use them for anything but that. Okay, you go. Takes one of those, he folds it. We've made a little template. He marks it out. And again, this process is not too precise, so it's not important that it's exactly right, as long as it's cut within that shape. He's going to cut it now with the scissor. And again, if you have some help, you have to do 30 of these things or 60 of them. The burlap is really inexpensive. Any sewing machine will work. We have a walking foot machine here that's industrial and heavy duty, and basically once that's done, he takes the machine and runs it through, okay, and detaches it, and this would be the finished product. Okay, now we're going to turn these inside out, right? Okay, once the thing is sewn, you pull the sock in on itself, okay, so that you don't have that ugly seam. And now we have this perfectly shaped sock. We know the size already, we've already tried it out, and that will fit each one of our springs over here. Coming over to this spot, we're going to need some tools, okay? And some of the things I recommend to do this is you need some hog clips. And for those of you that don't know what a hog clip is, it's basically a piece of heavy wire, almost the size of a finishing nail, that has two sharp ends on it. It goes into a hog clip plier, and most of all your upholsteries, even back in the day, are basically you would take this and squeeze this, and the two ends would collapse on itself. Okay, now you was going to take out one of these springs here. I recommend that you do this in a, you take one spring out, socket, put it back in. You don't want to take too many out. You want all the springs to be where they were located originally. If they're in good shape, which this particular set is pretty good, that's a good idea to do that. The other thing is we've lightly sprayed this with some just cans of spray paint. I mean, if you have to and you absolutely have to have it, 100% perfect, this could be media blasted. You could take each one of the springs and you can paint them all individually if you want to really move that over, move the project to that level. The hot clip just twists right off. Best thing to do is, remember, always throw them away. Don't leave them around because they're going to make holes in the tire. So he has the spring. He's got his new sock. He's going to take the sock, put it over the spring, and again, make sure you put it back the same way you did it. Pushes it all the way in. Pushes that little top in a little bit, we'll be able to clip that. Okay, now that the extra material could be put inside, just tuck it inside there, or it could be trimmed, whatever you prefer. It won't hurt anything either way. So here you have your spring. It gets located back into that spot. Okay, and I'll prepare a hot clip for Hugo here. And see, get a little closer with the camera, you can see how the hog clip is actually going to squeeze and compress right through the fabric and grip to this wire over here. Okay, see, it grabbed it. I always like to have an extra pair of pliers just in case the hog clip doesn't grab it as tight as I'd like, but that's a pretty good job. This would have to go to this side, and obviously we have to clip the bottom. So we'll come back with this seat once it's all completed, and we'll show you what's going on. All right. Again, this is Rich Benati from Northeast Packard, and I'll see you next time.